Yeah, all good.
Give us the second guy.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we're good. It's the red checker guy. Go ahead.
Great.
That's right.
Welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the Dickinson College Farm. Thank you so much for being here, with a special welcome to Governor Shapiro, Secretary Redding, Representatives Kutz, and Representative Ecker. We are farmers here, and we find value in waste, especially materials like food scraps and livestock manure. Since 2007, this farm has collected over 3.5 million pounds of food waste from the Dickinson cafeteria, generating a valuable compost that enhances our soil and crop health. Food waste is full of energy and nutrients, is easily recycled on farms, and simply does not belong in the landfill. Converting waste into biogas, a burnable, renewable, carbon-neutral energy source, is actually very easy. Just mix some cow manure with water, warm it up, and keep out the air. Anaerobic digestion will happen, and biogas will result. Add some food waste, and the biogas production doubles. The liquid effluent of the process, called digestate, is a valuable crop fertilizer. We then separate any remaining fibers from the digestate to produce recycled bedding for the cows. Nothing is wasted. Since 2008, Dickinson students and staff have built dozens of small anaerobic digesters for research projects while generating cooking fuel for our commercial kitchen and residences. Our new farm-scale digester is a project based on the same technology with the addition of specialized machines to convert biogas into electricity that powers the farm and connects right into the utility grid. We partner with our neighbors at Triple L Farm Dairy, allowing us to combine the manure of 150 cows with 2 to 3 tons per day of food waste from Dickinson and our community. After years in development, we are thrilled to finally be coming online. Just 15 months ago, this area where you're standing was a grass field, a cow pasture. We moved cows into the building in March, began feeding the digester the first week of June, and produced our first burnable gas 3 days ago. Soon we will be generating enough renewable energy to wipe out the farm's electric bill and export additional power to 30 homes. There are already a handful of farm digesters in Pennsylvania, but what makes our project unique is its relatively small scale. There are about 5,000 dairy farms in Pennsylvania with an average herd size of 100 cows. So there is great potential for growth in smaller farm digesters. We're sharing the lessons learned through this working model with other farmers with the goal of replication around the region so that more farms can generate clean energy from their waste in their communities. This project was a team effort. In addition to Triple L Farm, the Dickinson Farm team, and college administration, I am so grateful to the local, state, and federal agency partners who help with funding, design, and permitting. We've worked with 9 Pennsylvania businesses for engineering, construction, and specialty equipment. All of them have been essential to our success. I'm especially thankful to the visionaries at Nutrient Control Systems of Chambersburg for believing that we can and should build family farm digesters here in Pennsylvania to help the environment, strengthen farms, and generate local economic development. Thank you, everyone. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Representative Kutz.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. It's an honor to be here today. Let me first thank Governor Shapiro, Secretary Redding, my House colleague, Torrin Ecker, for being here today and for investing in, showing the importance of investing in agriculture here in the Commonwealth. Pennsylvania has been a national leader in agriculture for years, and the governor understands that agriculture innovation is key to driving our economic success. I was proud to join a large bipartisan majority of our State House colleagues recently to support the Ag Innovation Bill that recently passed the House. It's farms like these here in South Middleton Township and the Boiling Springs community and things all over our Commonwealth that will continue to pave the way for Pennsylvania as an agricultural leader. But those don't come easily, and it requires us as legislators and the administrators that you see here today to be supportive of the agriculture industry. This is not a partisan issue. This is an issue we can all get behind. Things that require investment into our farmers and our agricultural community to preserve that way of life, not only for the farms that we have today, but to encourage expanding our workforce through agricultural careers, opportunities through career and tech development, and supporting initiatives like our local FFA to be able to provide those students with agricultural pathways as well. Here in Cumberland County, we are blessed with a rich agricultural history, and we continue to have so, including right down the road here at Land O'Lakes, where Secretary Redding and I toured the facility last year, which produces 4 to 5 million pounds a day of dairy products. These are the types of projects we need to support as a Commonwealth and as a state government. It's an honor to be here today to provide that support And it's now my honor to introduce our Secretary of Agriculture, Russell Redding.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Doug. Thank you. Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Representative, thank you, and good morning, everybody. Good to see you. A few really smart folks right here in the shade, right? Thank you for hosting President Jones and the Dickinson College family. When I was a dean at Del Val, we had a farm, and I always sort of envisioned what we could do to be like this, right? To take this innovation and the technology. We had the cows and generate a lot of manure, but we didn't have this. And to me, this is the differentiator, both in terms of the college and what we can do, what you'll do, but it also shows us a future about how do you merge the issues of science with the concerns about the environment. Right? And how do we as a Commonwealth, and I'm really proud of the governor in the proposed budget for the very first time, to have innovation funding. We've done a lot of really important work through the Farm Bill and conservation and research in marketing, and you can make the list, but on that list we've never been able to add the word innovation. So the very first time you can say we're going to innovate, we're going to do the things that have really been a hallmark of Pennsylvania agriculture. We're here because of the adoption of innovation over generations, right? It's really been important, but the state now can play a role. We have seen it. The governor and I have been together on numerous farms, and every farm has a story, right? Everyone is an amazing, sort of inspiring story about progress and perseverance and innovation. We saw it in hemp last week, right? We've seen it on dairies, and just make your list. So this has application no matter where you stand in Pennsylvania. You can be in the English community, in the Amish community, and the innovation is key. You can be in the forest lands and on the open fields, and innovation is key. You can be in the rural communities and urban centers, and it's key. So make your list. Everything has a connection to innovation because of what we do here and what you're doing here at Dickinson College. So thank you for that. The driver in this is twofold. Actually, one of those is just we are in a hyper-competitive environment. Right? We have to compete. We have to have our products, whether it's the Land O'Lakes down the road or the timber industry, which we were with last week. They have to compete, right? So we're in a place where you've got to compete. You have to innovate. The other is, and I think the governor will talk about this, how important the agriculture is to the very fabric of our communities, economically, socially, environmentally. And through innovation, we get a chance to do that. So this fund has, by design, a broad sweep of initiatives attached to it. I'm pleased that it has gone through the House, and thank you very much for that support. Senate, we hope next week in it, but inside of it is the opportunity to invest in the conservation story. It's the biodigesters. It's our neighbors in the fruit industry and the drones and what they're doing inside of their orchards. It's the forest products industry. It's inside the dairies, every place. And in this fund will be the opportunity for us to be a partner in that. And we view the Innovation Fund as sort of the yeast, right? Much like that digester has to have some yeast, right? This is the yeast. I mean, this gives us a chance to raise other money and investment. So, but it's important to have the investment from the state and to be able to do this and the plan for continued innovation, but also continued progress with the partners. It's the other stories we look around, the number of partners who are here who helped both Dickinson College, but also this project specifically, many, many partners, community members, families in the community here. So a note of thanks to each of them for what they have done and continue to do. But why does it matter, right? It matters at the end of the day for the economic competitiveness of agriculture. It matters socially to what we do with food waste and generate energy. It matters environmentally, what we do. So there's a lot of benefit to this. And on top of that, the opportunity to be innovators in the agricultural space and stay in that top tier in a very competitive market that allows us to have both a vibrant community and a vibrant economy in agriculture. So thank you, Governor, for your vision on this. Very much appreciate it. And just want to say thank you every time that I'm with the governor on a farm is the opportunity to talk about the future of And this is sort of organic in the sense of his understanding of Pennsylvania, but also his understanding of agriculture. Stems from the conversations as Attorney General on the acre law and just the interface issues. But his appreciation for what this industry can be is both inspiring to hear and to see and to be part of it, but also when you can fund and do things that are innovative, like an innovation fund and dairy margin coverage and building Western labs. They're all connected to the work that we do and the vision that we have. Speaking of vision, somebody who's led Dickinson College and is part of this great story of both the institution and this student-led farm, I'm very honored to introduce to you the president of Dickinson College, John Jones. President Jones. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thanks for all your support. And it's been invaluable to us. We welcome the governor today, our state reps as well, who've been so supportive. It's great to see you all at Dickinson, at the Dickinson Farm today. It is my honor to welcome you to this great tract. We're tremendously proud of this 80-acre USDA certified organic farm, which serves as a living laboratory where students can put into action concepts they learn in the classroom. Here, students in a wide variety of disciplines learn about renewable energy and sustainable agriculture through hands-on work study and volunteering opportunities. They can participate in on-site classes, independent research projects, things that give them the unique insights into the subject areas such as complex mathematics, the role of food in global politics, public art projects, the natural sciences, and more. Additionally, since its founding 17 years ago, this farm has helped prepare hundreds of students for careers in agriculture and food system-related fields. At Dickinson, we always say sustainability is not just a buzzword, it's a core value, and we approach it with creativity and a broad base of knowledge. The project that you see before you today exemplifies our innovative approach to solving complex issues that face us all. The Biodigester project demonstrates real-world solutions to manage waste, reduce climate emissions, create renewable energy, and protect local waterways, including the Yellow Breeches, right next door, and ultimately the Chesapeake Bay. These are all efforts designed to strengthen sustainability for Dickinson and indeed the local region as well. We're proud that this new technology will benefit dairy farmers across Pennsylvania and across the country. Our students have been a part of this project from the start. I want to congratulate Matt Steinman, Assistant Director of the College Farm and Energy Projects, our director. He shepherded this project from the beginning. Jen Halpin, Director of the Farm, Ken Schultes, Assistant VP for College Sustainability and Facilities Planning, Alex Smith, Farm Manager, and all of the students who, through the years, have been involved in this project. Our students, some of whom are here with us today, are changing the world even before they leave our campus. It is now my great and distinct honor to introduce the 48th Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and I will tell you that over my career in public and private life, it occurs to me that including Governor Shapiro, I've had the great good fortune to know 6 governors of Pennsylvania pretty well. And I think from that perspective, I'm qualified to say that Governor Shapiro is a special talent and a tremendous governor, off to a great start. I've known him since his time in the legislature and through his career. He's an exemplary public servant, and we're so proud to have him at the farm today. And I'll say one more thing, Governor. I know that one of your mottos is that you get stuff done.
Correct.
And stuff is
You can say get manure done.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you don't want to step on my joke now. I mean, look, it's my farm.
Take your time.
So I'm just kidding. So stuff can be a euphemism for something else. It's a less elegant word. I just want to tell you, this is what we do with stuff here today. Governor Shapiro.
Good
to
Thank
see
you,
you.
Mr. President. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. President. And let me begin by saying it is awesome to be on a farm. It's always great to be on a farm with Secretary Redding. And it's especially nice to be here on a farm today with President Jones and the leadership of Dickinson College, and you, Matt, as well. I want you to know that I admire President Jones for a whole bunch of reasons, certainly because of his career in public service as a distinguished judge on the bench. But one of the things I admire most about his leadership at Dickinson College is he understands the power of educating students outside the walls of a classroom. And he understands that we've got to create greater connectivity between our workforce and our farms and what happens at our colleges and in our classrooms. And so, Mr. President, I admire you for your leadership. I thank you for your leadership. And I really do look forward to continuing the partnership that we have had for many years together. I think what you've built here at the Dickinson Farm should be a model for the rest of Pennsylvania. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get out here and see this today and have the chance to visit together with your state representative, Representative Cutts, along with your neighboring representative, Representative Ecker, and his children who join us here today. I'll dispense with my formal remarks, both in the interest of heat and time, and just share a few thoughts with you. When I get the opportunity to visit a farm, which is nearly weekly here in Pennsylvania, I'm always reminded of the rich heritage that agriculture plays in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I love in particular, though not the case today, but I love in particular visiting these multi-generational farms, or visiting a farm like this one where a year or so ago this was just a meadow and they envisioned something even better, an opportunity to grow and to be able to serve others. And the service that happens at a farm, I'm not sure there's anything more noble in life, no offense to our representatives or other public servants or even the work that I do. The work that farmers do every day to feed people, that's noble, that's honorable. And we understand more and more that that work to feed people requires us to have a focused strategy and to focus not just on the dirt in the soil, but also the technology that allows us to do that work even more effectively. When I became governor, one of the things that was really clear to me, and I think the reps would agree with me on this, is that we were falling behind from an economic competitive standpoint. We weren't investing enough, and we didn't have a clear vision of where we wanted to go in Pennsylvania. And in fact, over the last 20 years, we've not had an economic development strategy for Pennsylvania. And as a result, we haven't created as many jobs or created as much generational wealth as I would have hoped, or I imagine as these gentlemen would have hoped. Why do I share this with you? Because I believe when you're developing a strategy, you got to be clear in your purpose. You got to be clear in your focus. You can't be everything to everybody, but you've really got to focus in on the areas where you see real opportunity. And for me, we focused on 5 specific areas of our economic development strategy. And for the first time ever in Pennsylvania, one of those key areas is agriculture. Why do I share that with you? Because when I see a farm like this, I don't just want to think about the history of Pennsylvania. I want to think about the future of Pennsylvania. And the future, to me, when it comes to prosperity, when it comes to job creation, when it comes to great family-sustaining jobs, when it comes to putting food on the table for your kids or taking them on a vacation or buying them what they need, it runs through places like this. And so, for the first time ever, we're focused on agriculture as a key sector of our economic opportunity. For too long, Pennsylvania has only looked to the high rises of our big cities and the sprawling office parks of our suburbs. And while they're critically important, when we talk about those 2 areas, we have to add a third, and that's the farmlands of Pennsylvania. And that has been a big focus of my time as your governor. Now, to do that, we've got to make really smart and wise investments. The kind of investments that the Commonwealth and others, federal government too, have made here. Investments in technology, investments in innovation. When people think about technology and innovation, sure, we should think about biotech and the life sciences and healthcare, but we should also be thinking about agriculture. We should also be thinking about our farms. And when we do that, we create jobs and we do something right by our planet. Think about what's happening with this digester here. Again, in part funded with some state resources. Think about what's happening here. They're turning waste literally into energy. And they've become an energy exporter in just about a year. I visited another farm, Rhineford Dairy Farm, not too far from here. I think we're in Juniata County, right, if I'm not mistaken, Rhineford? That's another area where they literally have an entire neighborhood that gets its power from the methane digester that exists on that farm. The future of farming, sustainability, addressing climate change runs right through these farms. And I'm grateful for the commitment that Dickinson has made and others have made to seeing to it that this can be a model for the rest of the Commonwealth. Now, we got a lot of dedicated people here, but they also recognize that they need resources in order to effectuate this high-tech vision for farming going forward. And on that, I'm really pleased to be able to report to you that we have been able to come together on a bipartisan basis in the House of Representatives with an overwhelming vote that these two gentlemen supported, a vision that I laid out to invest more resources into ag innovation, over $10 million to be exact. And don't get caught up just on the individual dollars, though that's obviously a lot of money. What we should focus on here is that we were able to find bipartisan consensus around investing in our farms. What does that mean? That means urban and suburban representatives voted together with rural representatives to see to it that our agriculture folks got taken care of. That's a big deal. And it's important for you to understand the context within which all that is happening. I am literally the only governor in the entire country with a divided legislature. I want you to think about this for a second. The House of Representatives is led by Democrats. The Senate is led by Republicans. Fun fact, there's only 2 divided legislatures in the whole country. The other is the Congress of the United States, and they don't get a whole lot done. We're proving that we can get a whole bunch of stuff done in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania because we're doing common sense things that bring Democrats and Republicans together. In the budget I've laid out, we're proposing historic investments for agriculture, historic investments that have broad bipartisan support. And as we work to finalize our budget over the next several days and weeks here, I want you all to know that there's a real commitment to working together to get this done, to do common sense things like investing in our schools, investing in public safety, and investing in economic development. And again, a big part of economic development is what happens on farms like this. As we go forward, I hope you understand the position that we're in, the unique position we're in to make these investments. Pennsylvania today sits on a $14 billion budget surplus. That means that over time, the Commonwealth has taken $14 billion more from the taxpayers than they've invested. Now is the time for us to reinvest those resources back in our farms, back in the good people of Pennsylvania. The budget I put forth is balanced. It cuts taxes, doesn't raise them, and it makes those critical investments. And again, as the only governor in the nation with a divided legislature, I'll stand up here and I will state one thing as an absolute fact for what's going to be in the final budget deal. Compromise. And you know what? I know in our politics today that some people view compromise as a bad word. I view compromise as key to making progress. Progress here in Pennsylvania, progress for our farmers, and progress for our future. That's the spirit that I and these gentlemen approach these conversations with, and agriculture has been a big winner in that effort. We're going to continue to see that forward. So let me close again by thanking President Jones for welcoming me here at Dickinson Farm. Let me tell you that I view places like this as critical to the future of Pennsylvania. I'm glad for the opportunity to get to know so many of you here today, and it is really a pleasure to be with all of you. I'll just say on a personal note, my family abandoned me this week and went to the beach, and today's my birthday. So for me to be able to spend my birthday on a farm is pretty special. So thank you for welcoming me here on a special day. Appreciate y'all. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Thank you. You can say Josh. It's all right. Yeah. Thank you, gang. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll see if we got any quick questions from the media. I don't want everybody to bake out here. Yes.
You mentioned the budget. Could you give us a quick update on how the budget negotiations are going?
Yeah, look, we're making progress. There have been really good, productive conversations. We're going to continue to stay at it. Staff was meeting even today. And there's good dialogue happening. There's honest dialogue happening. And I would just say Leader Pittman, who's the Republican leader of the Senate, had it right when he said divided government does not need to be dysfunctional government. And that's going to require him and me, Representative Bradford, and the other leaders to come together and compromise, as I said before. And we're working hard to do just that. Anything else? Thank you all very much.
Good.
Thanks, Rep. Appreciate it. We'll get that dinner together.